My dear students, we are continuously talking about competency-based questions because it is one of the most important area in the competency-based interviewing. So let's talk about some of the more important things. There are generic competency-based questions. Among the most effective competency-based questions are those that are generated by job descriptions and resumes applications. So these are the questions which come directly from the applicant's information, because they provide a direct correlation between the position and the applicant. So it is a direct correlation. Correlation means these are related. There is a relationship between position which is going to be offered and the applicant information. Sometimes, though, interviewers need to explore other aspects of an applicant's eligibility to get a complete picture. So you need to be aware of that what kind of question we mainly need to ask. So professional categories and competency-based questions, they are also very much important, because the competency-based questions in professional categories jobs are different from the competency-based questions in non-professional job categories or the low-profile job categories. So here is a list of generic categories that apply to many professional positions, and a series of related competency-based questions can be asked for each particular generic skill. So first generic skill for the professional categories are the decision making. So you may ask question about the decision making, that how someone is going for a decision making. Tell me about a time when you had to make an unpopular decision. What was the outcome? Because there are some decisions which are unpopular, which are very critical. So you are asking a question that what was the outcome. Then you are asking, describe a time when you were angry about an unfair decision, how did you react? So this question is also critical, that you are asking about the angerness for some unfair decision and how you would react in such kind of decisions. Then is a problem solving. The question is, tell me about a recent problem at work, how did you resolve it? Because none of the organization is without problem. In every organization, there are several problems. And being a part of that organization, your job is to solve those problems. So how did you resolve it? It would depict, it would reflect that how good your problem solving skills are. What did you do in your last job to encourage your staff to resolve their own problems? So this is about the team building. This is about your attitude as a manager of the team, that how you help others to resolve their problem. Then is a communication. This is one of the basic and a major generic skill, that a communication skill. Describe a time when you had to make a presentation to the senior management. And how did you prepare such kind of presentation, which you have to give for them? Tell me about a time when you were compelled to communicate bad news to an employee. Because in all organizations, there is not all good news. There are some bad news. And it is very much important to communicate that bad news to the people. So how would you communicate that bad news? This is very, very important. Then delegation. All of the tasks you cannot perform by yourself. You have to delegate some of your tasks to your team members, to your subordinates. So tell me about a time when you delegated tasks to a staff member who failed to follow through, and if they are failed to follow through, what happened? And describe an instance in which you opted to perform a task outside the scope of your job description, or rather than delegate. So you performed the task by yourself, which was not the part of your job description, but you have performed it by yourself rather than delegation. And then the time management. Describe a time when the amount of the time you have set aside for a task proved insufficient, and tell me about an instance when you had to meet several crucial deadlines simultaneously. Because it is very, very important to manage the time in organization if you are working at some professional positions. If you cannot meet the deadlines, if you cannot set the priorities that what kind of tasks are more important to perform, so it is just a wastage of time. So time management is a generic skill, and you have to ask from your professional applicants that how they manage their time effectively and how they can meet the deadlines in a very small time. And ability to follow instruction. Tell me about a time when you were given instructions but had difficulty following them. You have given instruction but no one can follow them, and describe a time when you were given incomplete instruction. If you don't have a complete instruction, what did you do in such kind of situation? That with incomplete instruction, how can you do the better job? And telephone skills, tell me about a specific job experience in which an irritated customer kept calling your boss who told to handle it, and describe a time when your supervisor said the information you recorded on a call slip was incomplete. So telephonic skills are also very critical, and you can ask questions, very critical question about reflection of their telephonic skills. So my dear students, you have asked a number of questions from a professional applicants about the generic skills, and all the questions must be closely relevant to each generic skills, such as the telephonic skills, such as the decision making skills, delegation skills, and time management skills.